From mystery to serenity. At present, history Carandiru Massacre. It's going to start, now.
The Carandiru Massacre stands as a haunting chapter in Brazil's history, a stark reminder of the deep-seated issues plaguing the country's penal system. On October 2nd, 1992, the São Paulo Detention Center, known as Carandiru, became the site of a tragic confrontation that would claim the lives of 111 inmates. This event did not occur in isolation. It was the culmination of years of neglect, overcrowding, and systemic violence that had turned the prison into a pressure cooker of human despair.
Carandiru was not just a prison, it was a symbol of the failures of the Brazilian state to provide humane conditions for those incarcerated. By the early 1990s, the facility was notorious for its overcrowded conditions, where inmates lived in squalor, often without adequate food, medical care, or even basic sanitation. The prison was a microcosm of a broader societal issue, reflecting the challenges of a country grappling with poverty, crime, and a justice system that often seemed indifferent to the plight of its most vulnerable citizens. The tension within its walls was palpable, exacerbated by frequent violence among inmates, which set the stage for the fateful events of that October day. The riot that erupted during a soccer match in Pavilion 9 was a flashpoint, igniting a situation that spiraled out of control. What began as a scuffle quickly escalated, prompting the intervention of the military police. Colonel Uberatan Guimarães led the operation, which was marked by a shocking display of force. The police stormed the prison with overwhelming numbers, and in a matter of hours, the death toll rose dramatically. Eyewitness accounts reveal that many of the deceased were found in positions suggesting they were either surrendering or attempting to protect themselves. This tragic outcome raises profound questions about the use of lethal force and the moral responsibilities of law enforcement. The aftermath of the massacre reverberated far beyond the prison walls. National and international outrage erupted as human rights organizations condemned the excessive violence employed by the police. The event became a rallying cry for activists advocating for prison reform in Brazil. The massacre highlighted not only the immediate tragedy, but also the systemic failures that allowed such an event to occur in the first place. It exposed the urgent need for reforms in the penitentiary system, demanding a re-evaluation of how the state treats its incarcerated population. In the years following the massacre, the legal repercussions for those involved were fraught with complexity and controversy. While some police officers faced trials and were convicted, many of these convictions were later overturned, leading to a pervasive sense of impunity. The Supreme Federal Court's decisions in subsequent years only added to the frustration of families seeking justice for their lost loved ones. The lack of accountability for the police involved in the massacre serves as a stark reminder of the challenges facing Brazil's judicial system, where the scales of justice often seem tipped in favor of those wielding power. As Brazil continues to grapple with its legacy of violence and injustice, the Carandiru Massacre remains an indelible mark on the nation's conscience. It serves as a powerful reminder of the consequences of institutional violence and the urgent need for reform in both the penitentiary and public security systems. The scars left by that day in October are not just historical, they are a call to action, urging society to confront the systemic issues that perpetuate cycles of violence and despair. The tragedy of Carandiru is not merely a relic of the past, it is a pressing challenge for the future, demanding vigilance, compassion, and a commitment to justice for all. Subscribe to the channel, From Mystery to Serenity.